All right. Good morning. Welcome to the end of the week. Take a look at what's on your plate. Hopefully, you've already gotten a jump start on this. Um, if you haven't, make sure you set aside some time today to look at this stuff. So, Unit One review and test. That's what you're doing this week. So make sure you look at this review before you try to go and attempt this test. Some of this stuff was from weeks ago, so it might be kind of difficult to remember all that. Plus, each of these lessons have covered multiple things, right? Like lesson one covered domain, range, increasing, decreasing, positive, negative functions. So that's a lot of stuff to remember. So make sure you go back and jog your memory. Either watch that video, do another assignment, something like that. And then take this test. Again, this is due Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. No exceptions. Set aside some time. If you haven't taken this already, a bunch of you have already. But if you haven't, make sure you set aside some time and schedule some time between now and Sunday that you're going to do it, because this will impact your grade more than just like last week's assignments, right? It's worth more points. You can see right here, it's worth 16 points. So that's super important. Make sure you set aside some time for that. This review solutions manual, again, like we talked about the other day, that's just all the answers to the review. And my video just walks you through that review. So if you need something else from me, if you need to find something, if you can't find something, or you don't have a question to or an answer to a question that you have, just email me. I'm watching my email all day long, even on the weekends. So I'd be happy to email back and or jump on a Zoom call with you. Starting yesterday, the next unit unlocked. So if you're done with the test and you want to get a head start on next week, you're more than welcome to. Again, just typical stuff is in here. I wanted to point out one new thing that you might be seeing. Interactive textbook, practice problems, check-in, solutions manual, video, nothing new, right, with all that. But the extra practice is something that's new. So if you look at this, it's basically just there in case you just don't know where to look if you want to practice extra problems. So if you don't know where to look, if you're just not sure you want some extra practice, but you don't know where to go, click on this link. Well, it's not a link, but click on this page and it'll walk you through it. You basically have two options. Inside of Envision, each week I load extra assignments against you. When I say assignments, they're not due, right? We all know that at this point. But they're just assignments that you can participate in if you choose to. These assignments are actually pretty good because you have to input the answer and then it'll tell you if the answer is right or not. So that's kind of good feedback to know if you're doing it correctly or not. So feel free to access that in Envision, or in the back of each lesson, there's other sections of problems that you can do. We only do the practice section. Each section is split up into columns. So column number one is this, do you understand? Column number two is, do you know how, right? Then the understand column, and then it's our practice column that we always do, that section of problems, and then apply, and then assessment practice. So either while you're doing 2.1, if you need extra practice, or when we start the Unit 2 test, this is something to go back to kind of practice that work and make sure those concepts are sticking for you. So these will be open even when the test comes around. You can always go back and look at the extra practice page. One thing that I just realized is not on here, but it will be on here today, is your essential question. I'm gonna load that up here probably as soon as we separate from class. I'll get our video uploaded to Canvas, but then I will load that essential question on to lesson 2. Just a heads up, it is no longer going to be an essential question. It is going to be, and I wish I had it written down because another one of my colleagues is doing that part. It's going to be a vocab and concept check-in. I guess you could think about it like that, right? Our check-in is basically a weekly quiz of math, right? You're given questions, what's the domain, what's the range, stuff like that. You actually calculate things. So this is the math portion of it, like where you're doing the calculations. Well, this new thing that we're getting rid of the essential question and we're adding, again, it's called something like the vocab and concept check-in, something like that. It's dealing specifically with vocab from that lesson that's super important. and the concept from that lesson. So you're still kind of embedding that essential question into those questions that'll be on that. But it'll be similar to a check-in. You'll log in, you'll click on that vocab and concept thing, and it'll be questions that you just answer, very similar to the check-in. So I'll have that uploaded here in a little bit, and then let me know if you have any questions about it. Again, I will take a look at it on, well, we'll see you guys Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I'll definitely click on it and just make sure everybody's good to go and point that stuff out. But that'll be uploaded here in just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing, let the people that are late come in. Open it up for questions. Feel free to unmute yourself. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay. Just like usual, anybody that wants to hang back and ask questions, please do so. Everybody else, take care. Have a happy Halloween, and we'll see you Tuesday. Bye.